Healing your inner teen. I made a video about healing your inner child that I'm going to put up here in the cards, and I've been excited to make this one because it's one that has super resonated with me, especially right now, and one I think would heal a lot of people. Your teen years are usually when your identity starts to form. Usually from the age of like 1 to 10, you're like, you are not molded. You are molded in the identity of your parents. You tend to like what they like. You want to do what they want to do. And then when you become a teenager, it becomes a time where this is what I want to do. This is who I want to be. And your identity starts to form and you start to rebel, which is such an important part of human conditioning. You become autonomous, you can think for yourself, and you have your own ideas. But oftentimes, whether you grow up in conservative households or religious households, this is suppressed. They are people who are telling you what to think, who to be, who you are, and you constantly feel a sort of confusion that has you thinking, where am I, who am I, and what am I supposed to be? Because they've confused you and they have turned off that part of yourself that is thinking for themselves. Most times, most of our childhood interests are pushed by our parents. And it's not to say that you can enjoy them and like them for yourself. You then decide, do I even really like this? For example, they could introduce you to something more broad across the spectrum of interests. I love music. My mom loved music and she introduced me to music. And I love music. And I would usually listen to the music that she presented for me. When I became a teenager, I started to realize, okay, is this my music taste? What do I actually like? And then I sort of still have a very similar music taste to my mom, but I was able to kind of be like, this is my music taste. This is the kind of music I like. The same thing across the spectrum. Sometimes it's completely inaccurate. Sometimes you've never liked anything your parents have sort of presented to you. That's different. But when you're a teenager, that becomes a time where you become self-defining. You define yourself and you define the things that you want and define the boundaries and the ways that you want to live. And oftentimes that's suppressed. And that's what we're trying to heal here today. So usually with teens, you see the kind of era where they go goth or they go super angsty, and it's puberty. It's a time where hormones start and you start to develop into a grown adult. And biologically, spiritually, I'm not saying you're adults, but you're forming and becoming the adult you're supposed to be. And those are the years that are most important for the foundation of yourself and sense of self. And oftentimes, if you grow up in abuse, if you grow up in conservatism and all kinds of household that have you wanting you to mold you to be someone else or someone that they want to be, it's now your job right now as an adult to build those structures that they are broken down. So the most important thing I would say in healing your inner teen is, what are the things that you weren't allowed to do? What are there good reason? Your parents shouldn't agree with everything you do. They're not supposed to call to you like, there is discipline, I believe in that, and there's whatever. But what are the things, that were somewhat reasonable that you were not allowed to do? How are you going to explore them? Is it sex? Is it tattoos? Is it a certain way of dressing, a certain way of speaking, a certain way of expressing yourself? How are you then going to get into the point in yourself where you can then do those things? So you start to ask yourself, okay, maybe, for example, it could be something as simple as, you weren't allowed to wear this color or be this way, or present yourself in this way, or they gave you a complete identity different from self or yourself. How am I going to mold and catapult myself into self-authenticity? By embracing who I truly am. So healing your inner teen means giving that space in your mind and giving that space in your body for you to feel heard again, for you to have a voice. You need to give that person a voice. For me, growing up in my culture, being Nigerian, it's you seen and not heard. So I was always super quiet, no one that ever knew me would imagine I would do something like this, where I would be speaking and talking, because it's very interesting because when you're very silent and whatever, you think so much. So now I have so much to say and now I'm sharing it here. So I was sort of grateful that maybe it would be different if I was sort of allowed to, or I felt allowed to voice my opinion, say the things that I wanted to say, believe in things I wanted to believe. Maybe it would be different, but I think that you need to give that inner teen that voice again, allow them to be heard, allow them to speak up for themselves. And this starts by allowing yourself to react. Don't police the way that you react. We have this one thing I'm tired of people in society, and I would never encourage, even though I'm very zen and kumbaya and I wear pink, I'm pretty positive and da da da. is never allow people to police how you react. Of course, I'm not saying going around punching people in the face. I'm not going around and tussling and fighting and whatever. What I'm saying is that allow yourself to respond and react to the actions of other people, because that's where the policing starts. You're a teenager, they police how you react. Don't have that tone with me. Don't I'm in my culture it's like I'm not one of your friends, etc blah blah blah. Because it's their own way of sort of policing the way that you react towards the things around you. So much of existing is reacting. You put an organism in water, it reacts. You put it near fire, it reacts. Human reaction is the catalyst of human authenticity, because you then become accustomed to the things you like, you don't like, you don't want, you're not interested in, and they kind of understand, okay, this is how I'm going to move forward from now on. So I think it's so important that you really look in, go deep, and really sit down and with yourself and be like, what is it I truly want for myself? And how am I allowing myself to allow it happen? And by not policing my reactions. That doesn't make sense now that I'm thinking of what I'm saying it, but I think it will if you sort of listen to what I'm saying and look deeply. But the point is to get to that point where you can be in a relationship and they do something you don't like and be like, actually, I don't like peanuts. Actually, I don't like the way you talk to me. Actually, da da da. And it's not a way of controlling others. Boundaries are not about controlling people. I think I mentioned one of my reels. I think that has the most views. It's not about controlling others. It's about being like, hey, hi, hello. I don't like that, the way that it's treating me and affecting me. It's not controlling other people, because it's about stopping other people from controlling you. What do you think? What do you want? Who are you becoming? And those are the thoughts that you should sort of embrace. So your inner teen craves freedom, authenticity, and true expression. It does not want you to feel, what's the word? Compressed, and is not moving towards perfection. Your inner teen is messy. Your inner teen is crass. Your inner teen swears. Your inner teen is rebellious. The idea of perfection, feeling like you have to be all the time, that's where the performance starts. And that's how they try to mold us as teens to be, well, I'm not a teen, I'm 23, but to be, act like this, be like this, girls should talk like this, women should respond like this, boys should talk like this, men should respond like this, etc. What type of person do you want to become? All those constructs, all those things don't matter. Right now, I'm hoping you're watching this, you're an adult and you can make decisions for yourselves. Whatever that is, what people try to do, especially older people that have raised you in your life, they want you to get back to that inner teen and inner child that they could easily mold and control. Your job as an adult is to raise yourself, raise your standards, and then create the kind of life that you want for yourself. Allowing yourself to become and get into that place. And think of this, when you're at home, when you're with family, you get to that place where you're shrinking yourself, reducing yourself, because that's what you're used to. As an adult, that can't work. It's not going to work in workplaces where you need to, demand better pay, or demand that you get what's the word, that you get an opportunity. You will never be able to advocate for yourself and build the life that you want if you shrink yourself to that inner teen and that inner child that was consistently told to shrink into a little ball of nothing, who had no opinion and thought of themselves. Become autonomously powerful in the ability to speak up for yourself. That is what you need. That is the true process and start of healing your inner teen. Reconnect with your inner teen's passions. Music, art, TV shows. TV shows have been a big thing for me. I loved anime. You can't have me not watching anime. I loved Disney Channel as a teen. What else did I love to watch? I love those really crappy TV shows like Pretty Little Liars, Vampire Diaries, etc. I love those things. Are they necessarily productive all the time? No, because they some have problematic storylines that I'm looking back at it. But it's a huge way of connecting with myself. What did I used to like? Why was I even connected to these TV shows that don't even resonate with me now? Disney always resonates with me, but things like that. One thing I've been getting into right now, I could link the playlist and put it here, is I've been feeling a lot of anger because as a teen, I don't feel like I was allowed to express anger. I was more rewarded for expressing sadness and being docile. But it's I've allowed myself to sort of feel that anger and be able to respond. And I have this like super. I used to love No Doubt as a teen. What else did I love? Um, I love like rock music by women, and I just have the playlist. It's like for healing your inner anger feminine. I could put it there, link it. But I just have been doing that, connecting with those things, and also connecting to the emotions I wasn't allowed to express, allowing myself to feel anger. The thing I do is I put on my blow dryer, make it loud, screaming at my pillow. I allow myself to be angry. And sometimes I allow myself to respond when people do horrible, shitty things and what's it called to me. One thing about me, I'll tell you about who yourself. I'll tell you who you are. It's not even about being like crassy insults like this is what you've done, this is who you are, this is how you've affected me, and I don't want nothing to do with you, and I don't like you, and I hate you. I've allowed myself to feel those sort of emotions and also be true to what I'm feeling, true to what I thought as a teenager, and allow myself to feel those things so I can evolve. Because if not, you're just going to be a bowl of repression like yarn that you cannot unfold unless you start allowing yourself to feel those things. What about the fashion? One thing I'm going to start doing, I'm going to put here, is allowing myself to be like in that grunge vibe. The people I looked up to so much as a teenager were women dressing, but most specifically the grunge divas. Lita, Ashley, who else? Those two were huge star icons for me, and Jade from Victorious. I'm definitely gonna be in that vibe. I don't know whether I'd wear that on this channel because I love this certain side of myself that is more soft and feminine and vulnerable is here, and then I would probably wear that as I leave the house. But I could maybe once or twice. But there's the aesthetic. I did it in uni, and I was so happy, and it was very strange because I got a lot of stares because it was very alternative, and like I had pink in my hair. Aria from Pretty Liars was someone I loved, and it was very liberating, and it's something I'm going to start doing and allowing myself to do because why not? I'm an adult. Let me express myself in the ways that I want to express myself. Why must I be muted and dressed in a specific way to feel like I deserve respect? And I'm also allowed to explore the different parts of myself. The one that is like this and the one that's like this, grungy, who is crass, who is etc. Express those inner parts of who I am, and you're allowed to do it too. Who did you like as a teen? How do you want to dress? Do you want to do cosplay? Dress the way you dress, the way you express yourself is totally indicative of how things will go out for you. Growing up, I didn't really feel like I should like pink. I wasn't really expected to. And now I just realized this is my favorite color. That's why I love pink. And I just believe in color theory. And by force, I make myself wear pink every time. If I don't like getting nice things for myself, I'll get it in pink just so I can wear it on this channel and embrace myself and embrace the process of this. It's so important to embrace the things that you loved when you were a teen so that you can move forward and do the things and live the life that you want to be in the most expressive and authentic way. And then you find your people. You find the people you're supposed to be around. You find the people who will truly understand you. Because the one thing teens never feel like is going on, they never feel like they're understood. The most important thing you also have to do is forgive the parts of yourself that wanted to be seen and hate and it was hiding. Forgive those aspects of yourself. So much of what is going on when you're a minor is not under your control. You can't do so many things. You can't live the way you want to live. This is the opportunity right now to do that. Your life is in your hands. How are you going to take it and use it and make and live a life that you want to live? Not every aspect of it has to be perfect. Not everything has to be the way that you want it to be, but you still have to be moving towards the process of allowing yourself to do the things that you want to do. Forgive those aspects of yourself. Forgive and heal and allow yourself to move forward and live the life that you truly want to live. One thing I would say is nurture your autonomy. Allow yourself to do the things that you want to do and treat it like a baby. Don't anything or anyone that gets in the place of your autonomy, just cancel it. Protect it. Protect your autonomy. It doesn't mean be a shitty friend. It doesn't mean do whatever you want. It just means that if you want to do that thing and someone is like, that's weird, maybe you should consider getting new friends. I don't know. That's a bit weird. This isn't high school anymore. The reason why high school is so tough is because most of us are being restricted from doing the things that we want to do. And we're molded into being these versions of our parents that we don't want to be. And then we project these what's it called on each other, because you see someone who's bullied, for example, and you're like, why is she doing that? My mom doesn't let me do that, or I'm not allowed to express myself in this way, I'm restricted in this way. That's it. You're an adult. Any grown adult who's mature can look an adult doing something different from them or living different from them and be like, okay, that's how they want to live their life. Congratulations. Either they can stay around me or they don't want to stay around me. They won't have an immature response and tell you who you're supposed to be. Absolutely not. So allow yourself to do what you want to do. I'm even dressing up. I always make sure to do Halloween. I was not allowed to celebrate Halloween growing up. This is my costume. And I'm not even dressed up yet because I'm wearing this. I didn't want to wear the costume because it's not pink. I have a strict rule of wearing pink on here. But this is my Wonder Woman costume. And I remember watching Wonder Woman growing up, obsessed with her and how powerful she. I used to love comics as well. My half brother gave me the movie. It was an animated version of Wonder Woman, and I was obsessed with her. And I always make sure to, during Halloween, I wear the costume. When you wear the costume, think about cosplay and dressing up. It's like you're like, you embody the character and you carry their strength. When I was trying it on, like the fitting, to make sure everything fit and everything was right, I was like, I feel so powerful right now. I feel like Wonder Woman. I feel so like this powerful, strong woman. So allow yourself to do that. Allow yourself to explore that and nurture those aspects of it. If you have anyone being like, oh my god, da, 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 either ignore them or cut them off. You shouldn't be celebrating Halloween, this and that. You shouldn't be celebrating Halloween. I'm a grown ass adult. I'm trying not to swear on here because I heard it affects stuff. I'm a grown ass adult. And I can do whatever the hell it is I want. How about that? And if you are my friend or you're someone in my life, you should support me because what I'm doing potentially is not harming anyone. Don't allow other people's restrictions of themselves to stop you from doing and living the life that you want to do. That is healing your inner teen. Period. So this is the end of the video. Make sure to subscribe. I hope that as you watch, you feel the need to heal your inner teen and that it's something that was helpful. I wish it was longer. I definitely go into more detail much later on, but I just don't like wasting makeup, and I only wear makeup when I have to, or makeup like this when I have to leave the house and like do whatever. So I was leaving the house for Halloween, so I thought to myself, why not post it and then put my Halloween costume. So thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. It's Ash, a lovely day, telling you to have a lovely day, your medicine woman here. And allow yourself to live the life that you want to be. Subscribe to my Patreon if you're interested. The videos that are coming next will usually be there. You can watch it earlier if you want to. And love you all deeply.
The Medicine Woman.